The black market on Station Helios smelled like burnt circuits and desperation. Zareen pressed her palm against the scanner, feeling the familiar sting as it read her DNA. The door hissed open, revealing a cramped booth where a three-eyed dealer sat behind reinforced glass. "I need information about the Void Runner," she said, her voice flat despite the tremor in her chest. The dealer's middle eye focused on her while the other two scanned the corridor behind her. "That artifact's been lost for 3 centuries. You're chasing shadows, alien." "I'm chasing my life." Zareen pulled out a crystalline chip, her last credit reserve, and placed it in the exchange slot. The dealer's greed won over his skepticism. His fingers danced across a haptic display, and a hologram flickered to life between them. "Last known coordinates traced to the Narrows. Dead planet, dead everything. But there's been shatter. Someone saw energy signatures matching ancient Kethrin technology." Zareen's hearts hammered in dual rhythm. Kethrin, her people, the civilization she couldn't remember. Who else is looking? "Half the galaxy if they knew what it really did. But you've got competition. A human mercenary landed here 2 days ago asking the same questions. Name's Jack Corrigan. He's dangerous? Efficient." She found Corrigan in a dive bar near the station's lower ring, exactly where desperate men with expensive equipment went to drink away their conscience. He was younger than she expected, maybe 30 standard years, with scars that told stories his mouth wouldn't. When she sat down across from him uninvited, he didn't reach for his weapon. Good sign or bad, she couldn't tell. "You're the Kethrin," he said, taking a slow sip of something amber. "Zareen, right? Word travels fast on stations like this. And you're the mercenary trying to steal what's mine." "Can't steal something that doesn't belong to anyone." His eyes, earth brown and disconcertingly steady, met hers. "Besides, I heard you don't even know what you're looking for." The truth stung, worse than the DNA scanner. Zareen had woken 5 years ago in a medical pod with no memory, no identity, nothing but a name etched in her neural implant and a burning certainty that the Void Runner held answers. "I know enough," she lied. "Then you know the Narrows will kill us both if we go alone." Corrigan leaned forward, and she noticed his hands, calloused, careful. "I propose a partnership, temporary. We find the artifact, we split the information it contains, then we go our separate ways." "Why would you share?" "Because I've been tracking Kethrin ruins for 7 years, and every single one has security systems that require genetic authentication from your species. You need my ship and my weapons. I need your DNA and your determination." She should have said no, should have walked away, should have trusted herself more than a stranger with contract killer eyes. Instead, she said, "We leave in 3 hours." The Narrows lived up to its name, a planet crushed between the gravity wells of 2 dying stars, stretched into an elongated ovoid of cracked stone and perpetual twilight. Corrigan's ship, the Spectre, descended through atmosphere thick with metallic dust. "Sensors are showing the energy signature 2 kilometers north, but there's interference. Could be natural radiation, could be defensive systems." Zareen studied the landscape through the viewport. Ruins jutted from the surface like broken teeth, towers and bridges from a civilization that had conquered death itself before something erased them from existence. Her people, her history, all reduced to rubble and riddles. They landed near the largest structure, a pyramid of black glass that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. As they approached on foot, Zareen felt a pull, something deeper than instinct. "Do you feel that?" she asked. Corrigan checked his scanner. "Feel what?" "Like recognition." The entrance required no force. The moment Zareen's hand touched the surface, the glass rippled like water and opened. Inside, bioluminescent veins pulsed through the walls, casting everything in shades of electric blue. "This place is alive," Corrigan whispered, and for the first time she heard genuine awe in his voice. They descended deeper. The air grew warmer, humid, almost breathing. Corridors branched and twisted, but Zareen moved with certainty, following a map she didn't know she had. Finally, they reached a chamber. The Void Runner floated in the center, a sphere of impossible darkness surrounded by orbiting rings of light. It was smaller than Zareen expected, no larger than her fist, yet it radiated presence. "That's it," she breathed. But as she stepped forward, the chamber erupted with light. Holographic figures materialized around them, Kethrins, tall and elegant, with skin that shifted like oil on water. One figure stepped forward, and Zareen gasped. The face was hers, exactly hers. "Warning." The hologram spoke in ancient Kethrin, which Zareen understood perfectly despite her amnesia. The Void Runner contains compressed memories of our entire civilization. To access it is to carry the weight of billions of lives. The last keeper went mad from the burden and scattered themselves across the stars to escape. Are you prepared to remember what you fled from? Corrigan grabbed her arm. "Zareen, what's it saying?" She translated, her voice hollow. "I'm not looking for an artifact. I'm looking for myself. I'm the Void Runner. I'm the last keeper who erased her own memory to escape." The truth settled like ice in her veins. She'd been running from herself. The artifact, the memories, the civilization, it was all locked inside her neural architecture, compressed so tightly it had formed a singularity of information. The sphere wasn't external, it was a key. "If I access this," she said slowly, "I'll remember everything, every life, every death, every moment of my people's existence. It destroyed me once already." Corrigan's grip loosened but didn't release. "Then don't." "I have to. It's who I am. It's who you were." His voice was urgent now, human and immediate against the weight of ancient ghosts. "You're also the person who fought through the black market, who partnered with a stranger, who flew into the Narrows chasing answers. That person matters too." Zareen looked at him, this mercenary who'd become something else over days of travel and conversation. "You don't understand. My entire species is in here. If I don't remember them, they're truly extinct. If you go mad remembering them, they're still extinct. But you, Zareen, whoever you are now, you'll be gone too." The hologram spoke again. "Choose, bear witness, or remain free." She thought about the 5 years since waking, the loneliness, the searching, the hollow feeling of being undefined, but also the sunrises seen through the specter's viewport, the way Corrigan took his coffee, black like the space between stars, the small new life she'd been building without realizing it. Zareen reached for the sphere, but instead of triggering the memory cascade, she spoke in Kethrin. "I choose to remember only what I can bear. Give me my name, my purpose, and the knowledge of what happened, but let me remain me." The sphere pulsed once, twice. Then it dissolved into particles of light that flowed into her like a gentle rain. And she remembered. Her name, Zareen Vel Kethros, memory keeper of the 9th Archive. Her purpose, to preserve the consciousness of her people when the cascade, a technological singularity, threatened to consume their minds. Her choice, to fragment and scatter that consciousness, including her own, saving it from corruption but losing herself in the process. The weight was immense but not crushing. Grief, yes, loss, absolutely, but also peace. She opened her eyes. Corrigan was watching her with undisguised concern. "I'm okay," she said, and meant it. "I'm whole, fractured, but whole." "So what now?" Zareen looked at the empty space where the sphere had been. "Now we document this place. My people's knowledge shouldn't die just because they did. And then," she met his gaze, "I'd like to keep traveling. There are 6 other fragments of me scattered across the galaxy. I want to find them, reintegrate slowly, live between the memories." "Need a pilot?" She smiled, a real smile, perhaps the first since waking. "I need a partner." As they climbed back toward the surface, the pyramid began to seal itself behind them, preserving what remained. Above, through the atmosphere's metallic haze, stars burned in patterns Zareen now recognized, constellations her people had named millennia ago. She was chasing herself no longer. Now she was running towards something new. The specter lifted off from the Narrows, carrying two people who'd come seeking artifacts and found something far more valuable. The knowledge that identity wasn't something you recovered wholesale, but something you rebuilt, memory, careful memory, alongside those who chose to witness your becoming. In the cargo hold, Corrigan's scanner registered 6 distinct energy signatures scattered across the galaxy, each one a piece of Zareen waiting to be integrated. 6 more locations, he said, plotting coordinates. Could take years. Zareen settled into the co-pilot seat, feeling the dual rhythm of her hearts syncing with the ship's engines. Then we'd better get started. Behind them, the Narrows shrank to a point of light, then disappeared entirely, just another forgotten place in an infinite cosmos of forgotten things. But Zareen Vel Kethros, memory keeper, void runner, and now something beautifully undefined, she was done being forgotten. She was finally ready to be found.